And then finally, section 6. We had miscellaneous. So we had 7 questions that we were able to narrow down into 3. What is Baseball Ontario's recommendation for 2021 tryouts? Should teams start over if 2020 is canceled? Will releases carry over, or will everything remain the same? So we really want to focus here on the tryouts. So the tryouts is going to be determined, is there a baseball season or not? And what did you decide to do locally? So if baseball starts July 15th and competition begins August 1st, and there's an 8-week program. But if you decide locally that we can't participate in that for whatever your reasons are, permits, finance, registration, etc., but you still want to do your fall tryouts, then you would do fall tryouts the way you normally have because you didn't participate in the other activities. But maybe as a local, if you are participating in competition in that 8-week program, then you would not be in a position possibly to run tryouts and play games and compete with field permits of recreation leagues and other things like that. So again, right, so at the end of the day, you would decide which is best for you based on our current reality at the time that we lift the suspension of operations. In regards to releases, do they apply? Do they not apply? That is all rep council. So as rep council gets together, and you know, rep council consists, as you know, as your elected officers, your president and your vice president, and all of your representatives from your affiliate. So again, big decisions, lots of moving pieces, and we are definitely, stronger together, and those we will embrace together and decide the best rules with the overarching spirit of saving baseball and remaining agile, again, putting the safety of the athletes and all of our coaches, executives, umpires, etc., at the forefront. Then we were asked, what's our recommendation for preparing to return to play if the season is a go? So we can only recommend. Each local will be different based on your time frames, but we are recommending approximately 2 to 3 weeks of preparation, and that would include maybe you still need to do a little bit more of outdoor workouts, conditioning, strength. Maybe you do need to spend time with some exhibition games and just, again, getting yourself ready before you immediately jump into competition. Protecting the athlete is forefront. So that being said, we're not in a position to tell affiliates how to set up the schedule and when teams are or are not ready. We're just recommending strongly that there is an acceptable runway to protect the athletes before you immediately start competition. And again, Rep and Select Council will determine the timelines for sanctioned tournaments, as I previously mentioned as well. So what measures are going to be implemented to protect participants? And this is a great question. And at the end of the day, our Safe Sport Committee has been assigned the task, or Brent will be assigned the task, to review a safe and responsible return to play recommendation. So what does that look like, from shaking hands and high fives and fist bumps? And I know this next one's difficult, but what do we do about athletes and officials spitting on the field? So what's that process going to be, and what's our recommendation to our coaches and our officials dealing with that? And again, hopefully it won't be the officials that are doing it, because I'm sure they'll be in the process of helping us as it relates to keeping that to a minimum. Things like disinfecting shaded areas, dugouts, working with municipalities. What's the municipality requirement? If you're the permit holder, what's the requirement with you as the permit holder as it relates to those disinfecting areas, etc.? So our risk management will be working on that. Our Safe Sport Committee will be working on that. And the biggest one to all of us will be shared equipment. What does shared equipment look like when when all gets lifted and we continue to play baseball. So again, we're aware of the question. Do we have specific answers for you this evening? No, but I wanted to let you know that our Safe Sport Committee will now take ownership and will be in a position to present to you what our recommendations are. And they will be presented back to councils. Rep council would need to approve the recommendation. Select council will need to approve the recommendation. And locally, we would share with you what those practices are, and then you would decide within your local house league about what your city requires or town requires based on holding the permit.